back, you're still awake, and so are we. Welcome, this is the Dan Corder Show. South Africa is a movie.
Welcome to the watch party!
And the watch party of the last 4 months with our jaws on the floor has been the Mkhwanazi cinematic universe since General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi gave that now bombshell press conference that launched so many scandals, made so many new celebrities for all the wrong reasons. We now have household names of mid-ranking police officers. We now know the structure of the police service for some reason. We now know about alleged criminal networks and alleged cell phones and alleged WhatsApps, and all of that we know as we try to uncover the extent to which there seem to be massive criminal, maybe even mafia networks controlling South Africa, having compromised the police and high-ranking politicians, particularly within the African National Congress. And one of the most important parts of this investigation is the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry into police corruption and political interference. And as always with all of these stories, we are blessed to have world-class journalists and reporters doing the work of helping us, South Africa, understand what exactly is going on in this country that we love so much, but often just don't know so well. And one for me, pound for pound, one of the best reporters on the Madlanga Commission is right here from eNCA, and he's here tonight. Please welcome the one and only Pule Letswhiti-Jones is here, everybody. Pretty unusual actually getting a round of applause for your work.
Yeah.
Like journalists don't usually get the praise, right?
I receive my flowers, thank you very much.
But it is weird, and it's something that I'm trying to change as not a journalist, is that like journalists need to be celebrated and protected and rewarded for the grueling work. Because I mean, you've been at the Madlanga Commission experiencing burnout and lack of sleep for how long now?
Since the 17th of September, but even prior, before the commission, we've been doing some bit of investigations as well. For example, I'll tell you one about a case study where we looked into the late Namhla Mtwa, who was allegedly murdered by a suspect, people say a boyfriend as well, and her case was part of the 121 dockets. You've heard about the dockets, right?
Wow.
And what we found out was that the docket was tampered with. The family had been consulting with just over 4 investigators, but there is prima facie evidence pointing to the suspect. However, the sister is now in hiding because she has been receiving death threats from Mtwa's boyfriend, and she claims that this is a very same individual who she alleges could have perhaps been the mastermind behind her sister's death.
Wow. So, like, I don't want you to clap for the story, but how good was that reporting off the cuff? Eh? Bah, 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 bah. So good. Yeah. So, Pule, you've been at the Madlanga Commission on behalf of the eNCA. You've been there every single day as shock after shock after shock after shock has come out. We earlier on in the show covered Clown Makhotsi's attempts to tell the truth last week, failure to tell the truth last week. But like you've also been there when Brown Makhotsi's texts were put up for the first time, where the witnesses on the Katie Molefe and assorted Katie Molefe allegations couldn't even come into the commission for their own safety. They had to be kept in a secure location anonymously. What has been the most shocking and memorable parts of the commission for you, reporting on the commission, being at the commission?
I think one of the most shocking, parts of the commission is, like you're saying, witness A, B, and C. They were detectives, part of the political killings task team. They were called into a room while they were investigating the death of Armand Swart. He was an engineer in Vereniging, working for Q-Tech, a company called Q-Tech there. So his company had uncovered this corruption that was taking place between Katie Molefe's nephew and Transnet. And when the assailants or the criminals pounced on Mr. Swart, they shot the wrong person. It was not him who exposed that alleged corruption that was taking place. But witness A, B, and C managed to find that. But before they could pursue this investigation further, they were called into a room by one of the generals, Mr. Shibiri.
Within SAPS.
Within SAPS. And they alleged that they were told, look, there's envelopes for everyone, for yourself, the detectives, for the magistrate, and for the prosecutor. And we all know what that means, Dan.
So magistrate making the decision on bail, right?
Yeah.
And prosecutor and investigators to make sure that the people involved actually got bail.
To make sure that the case goes away. Now, let me link this to a latest interview I did with Shepherd Bushiri.
Yes, into
Malawi.
Shepherd Bushiri of all people, by the way.
Yeah. He claims that he was told, your cases can go away. He was at the time facing charges of rape, money laundering, and fraud.
What, you guys haven't heard of Shepherd Bushiri? You haven't heard? Wow, you better learn, guys. Go Google. Watch eNCA.
It was quite risky. We had to fly to Malawi in Lilongwe just to have a sit down with him. You can imagine, you're fetching him in his den and you have to ask him all these questions.
Yeah.
But essentially, he says that the members of the Hawks said to him, if you give us 12 million rand,
12 million.
your cases will go. It's not the only thing that happened. He claims that his bodyguard was called to a farm in Pretoria back in 2018-19. He fled the country in 2020. And they told him that if Major One can give us 2 million. Now, this message, we're told, is coming from the former Hawks head, Godfrey Libia.
Yeah, implicated in the Madlanga Commission also.
Implicates there as well. Your cases will go away. Another general, we're told, was at the time Brigadier Kadwa.
Yeah.
The Gauteng Hawks head. We are told, extorted about 4 million rands from a wealthy businessman who was part of Bushiri's congregation. So I'm just showing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like a wide-ranging set of patterns. The idea that if you have enough money, you can allegedly pay off the police to make investigations go away. Obviously, in the case of Armand Swart's murder, the ballistics report didn't pick up that the gun used in the murder was used in a raft of other murders.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's the culture. I wonder if there needs to be some kind of mass investigation into the personal finances of everybody at the top end of the police. Because if they're all now making millions, tens of millions of rands in bribes just to make things go away. But I want to go back to the Madlanga Commission.
Right.
So we're at the point now, and you've known this in all your reporting, where we've had a lot of the big guns talk, and now we're getting into the people who've received allegations against them. So Brown Makhotsi, hopefully Kat Maklala soon, amongst others. What do you think is the next big moment in Madlanga we need to watch out for?
Yeah, apart from the Comedy Central,
Yeah.
I think we're expecting more witnesses to come through. This is now phase 2.
Okay.
So you have phase 1, which is Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, General Khumalo, their statement. Phase 2 is the rebuttals to phase 1. Phase 3, you have the correction, in fact, and obviously you have the Mkhwanazi coming back for cross-examination process, right? So we are expecting the likes of Senzo Mkhunu, the police minister. We're expecting the likes of Bheki Cele to come through. And maybe, even maybe, Dan, Vusi Musi Kat Matlala.
Imagine.
Yeah, because we know that he is going to be speaking to the ad hoc committee tomorrow at the correctional facilities in Pretoria, at the Koshimamburu correctional facilities.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And it's really important that people come back for, I guess, phase 3. I mean, nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So even General Mkhwanazi had to send a retraction to the ad hoc committee a little while ago over an allegation he made against Bheki Cele that he said was actually like a payment linking to a bank account that he says was told by his team was connected to Bheki Cele, but actually it wasn't. And so no one's perfect in this situation, and the story is evolving and unfolding as we go. Are you exhausted?
I am tired.
Are you exhausted?
Tired.
Do you get shocked anymore at Madlanga or not really?
It's like a bedtime story. I consume everything as it comes. Over the past few days, I've had an issue where even during your social time, you're just constantly speaking about this commission.
Yeah.
And it's taken over your life, you know,
Totally.
because I've invested and I've just gotten myself into this commission. And apart from what's happening outside the commission, Dan, I've been doing work outside the commission, like what is happening in Ekurhuleni as well.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with dangerous people as well.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
So even going to social clubs or whatever, you stop that because the information you carry is very sensitive.
Totally. I actually wanted to ask you about that. So one of the reasons why I think your reporting has been so effective is that you in particular have done a phenomenal job of using Twitter, the dark place formerly known as Twitter, to tell the story of what's happening in the commission. But what that has probably led to is you discovering what South Africans misunderstand about the commission or don't get. What are some of the things that you find many South Africans are missing or not understanding the importance of about the commission and the people involved in it?
I think it's important for you and I to trust the officer behind the counter when we open a case.
Right.
It's very important we get to the fact that South Africa is a country which has, of course, which is under siege by criminals. It's important to understand that we're not safe.
Yeah.
It's important to understand that issues of gender-based violence can only be corrected when we have competent police officers who can get to the bottom of it and will not chase you away when you get to the police station.
For sure.
So those are the dynamics and optics that I think are very important. But what the Twitter reporting has also done, or X, right, and social media reporting, I'm constantly getting DMs and inboxes of the corruption that is taking place,
Yeah.
and people coming forward with dockets and case numbers, and it's insane. It's just that this commission has a scope, but if this scope could widen further, I think we're in for a shocking movie.
Pule, the last thing I want to ask
Yeah.
you is like reasons for hope, right? So like my reason for hope is that this is happening anyway. The fact that we know about it makes it far more likely that there will be political consequences in the elections. If the ANC and others don't pull up their socks and do something about this, they'll lose votes. That can have a democratic solution to a criminal problem, right? Mm-hmm. But also maybe, even though the Madlanga Commission can't open court proceedings, they can recommend court proceedings to the NPA and others. So people might end up in orange overalls. Although this is just the truth-telling part, it feels like a wound needs to be aired before it can scab and scar. What are your reasons for hope?
Look, I really think that this commission will deliver the much needed expectational outcomes or judgment in terms of what should be done. Firstly, reforms. It's quite clear that the rot within the SAPS, given what we've heard, is institutionalized and really has to be tackled, systematically so as well. I think there's hope that there are men and women in blue who are really committed to fighting crime. We heard from the witnesses of witness A, B, and C. Their lives are changed, Dan. They can't see their families anymore because they put their lives on the line to expose these alleged members of the Big Five cartel. I think there is a bit of hope. If we can clean on top, right? Going down will not be an issue. I think South Africa can still be a safe country for us all to live in.
Pule, thank you for the phenomenal work
Grateful
that you
for you
do.
having me, yeah.
Genuinely, deeply, I'm so grateful. There are very, very few people who I can rely on in this world to give the truth and to be a reliable source of information. You're one of them. Pule Letswhiti-Jones, everybody. Make her
Thank you very much.